Exciting changes are coming to downtown Hagerstown. Anchor institutions like USMH, Washington County Public Schools, and the Maryland Theater are all growing, leading to significant new development. These enhancements are being supported by all levels of government, as well as generous private donations. We want to give you a preview at what's ahead, specifically for the Maryland Theater. Executive Director Jessica Green and Board President Benito Vettelana take us on a virtual tour of the plans.
In order to continue our mission of preserving, restoring, and maintaining the Maryland Theater as a historic property, and to provide quality entertainment, educational and cultural offerings to the community at large, we must create a variety of sustainable revenue streams. The expansion project will help us accomplish this goal.
In summer of 2016, the theater received funding from Washington County and the City of Hagerstown to fund the architectural design process. This phase has just reached completion and has produced designs for our 30,000 square foot expansion, which will restore the theater to its original footprint plus more, prior to the fire which destroyed the front of the building in the 1970s. The expansion will replace a current outdoor courtyard and will consist of 5 floors, transforming the Maryland Theater into a performing arts complex. The primary goal of the expansion is to improve the flow of patrons. 3 additional entrances to the historic auditorium are being created, along with improved emergency exits. 2 elevators are planned in the design, and additional restrooms are included with each level, along with a handicap-accessible restroom. A box office space will welcome patrons during business hours and prior to performances.
The expansion contains the following support spaces which do not currently exist: conference room for up to 25 people, volunteer lounge with storage for personal belongings for up to 50 volunteers, a bridal suite for the weddings which are hosted on site, locker rooms for student use during rehearsals, additional and larger concession areas, and merchandise sales areas.
The theater currently serves over 100,000 people annually, including more than 5,000 volunteers and over 12,000 students. Our efforts tie in with the Downtown Urban Improvement Project, a partnership among the Board of Education, the University System of Maryland at Hagerstown, USMH, and local private developers. This development will contribute to the downtown revitalization by increasing foot traffic, enhancing the tax base, and creating jobs in the urban core. The proposed theater expansion is recommended as a catalyst project in the community's city center plan for Hagerstown. Our community has a shared vision to see downtown Hagerstown regain its role as the commercial, institutional, and cultural heart of our community. Planning efforts recognize that the vision can only be realized if the downtown's image is enhanced, so that it is widely understood to be a viable place for investment and business and for use by the public.
The Urban Improvement Project to expand the Maryland Theater, the Board of Education, and USMH will allow the cultural and educational destinations to increase their offerings and to thrive. And it is anticipated that the UIP will energize our region about the vision for downtown. We foresee promoting the success of the UIP to potential investors in the private sector and to continue garnering widespread public support for our downtown revitalization vision.
The proposed expansion will offer 5 spaces, including a grand lobby, cocktail lounge, rehearsal studio, and multi-purpose event space. A VIP suite will be available for rentals in order to provide the theater with a sustainable source of income and maintain self-sufficient operations as a standalone nonprofit. These 5 spaces will allow for opportunities to host specialty events prior and following the performances in the auditorium. They will also allow us to host simultaneous private events during performances. The multi-purpose event space will occupy the entire top floor and is capable of hosting private seated events such as weddings or business dinners for 275 guests, vendor shows with up to 20 vendor spaces, or a small performance for up to 300 attendees for clients who do not require the full capacity of the historic auditorium. It will be available for reservation to the general public as well as local businesses on a first-come, first-served basis.
The rehearsal space, which is a replica of the auditorium stage complete with changing facilities and locker rooms, will make up a majority of the 3rd floor in order to support educational and local performing arts partners. This space will provide practice space during the 175 days annually when the stage is already occupied, as well as serving as a daily classroom with connectivity in the form of a walking bridge to the Washington County Public School System's adjacent building. The rehearsal studio will also be available to clients who wish to have rehearsals without sound and lighting, providing a value-conscious opportunity.
The VIP suite will be in the historic projection room at the rear of the balcony. It will be available for reservation by the general public. This space will provide an exclusive event hosting opportunity for parties of 12 persons or less. The space will feature a bar for food and beverage and will allow guests to view the performance from the comfort of a private room. The Grand Lobby and Cocktail Lounge will offer private event space as well as adjacent space to the historic auditorium for gatherings associated with other events in the facility. The Grand Lobby will offer a mostly white in color interior decor with decorative columns similar to those in the event space. The focal point of the lobby will be the grand stairwell, which will assist patrons in reaching the cocktail lounge and the balcony level of the auditorium. The stairwell will offer similar decor to that of the plaster and cherubs within the auditorium. The cocktail lounge will boast a 50-foot-long custom-made bar and will serve as the balcony concessions area as needed during performances.
Existing and new partnerships will be expanded and established through the expansion project. For example, gallery and display areas for the Washington County Museum of Fine Arts and the Convention and Visitors Bureau will provide area visitors with information. Discussions are already in motion in regards to the conference and event hosting in collaboration with the Chamber of Commerce and the Visitors Bureau. The alley to the north of the Maryland Theater is theater property and has become known as the Middletown Valley Bank Walkway at the Maryland Theater. It is often utilized by patrons attending events who chose to park in the rear. It is also used as a walking path by business folks and visitors downtown. Lastly, the performers often utilize the walkway to get from the dressing rooms and the backstage areas to the auditorium to create interactive audience experiences with performers coming down the aisles of seating. The proposed construction work in this walkway is significant as it will enclose a basement corridor for use of performers and theater staff. It will also create a walkway that is street level in order to improve our fire escape exits and make the walkway more welcoming and less like an alley in appearance. Connectivity points to the Board of Education's building will be at the basement dressing room level as well as the stage level. The stage door entrance will be much improved in order to support larger touring productions and local productions with the school system.
Great consideration of how the exterior will affect the existing streetscape is being made. The goal is improving the street presence on South Potomac Street since often visitors and locals are unaware of the historic theater. Further attention to many details has been put into the exterior design of the expansion project. We only have one chance to complete this amazing project, which will be in existence for centuries to come. There are a variety of small and large details on the facade which have meaning behind them. The demolition of the McBair building will be mitigated in several ways, including the cornice shape and pattern is a nod to the existing on the McBair building, which currently houses the box office and concessions area. Historic leaded stained glass windows from the McBair building will be featured in the stair tower. 3 arches have been selected as the main shape of the exterior windows in order to remember the current entrance. These arches also tie into several other buildings in the downtown, such as the Barbara Ingram School for the Arts. A frieze has been designed at the top of the exterior in order to add some color to the design and duplicate what is visible on the historic Colonial Theater across the street. Diamond shapes can be found throughout the frieze, facade, existing auditorium, and other downtown architecture. The canopy is very similar to the original canopy of the building construction in 1915, with scalloped edging and lights behind it. The canopy will provide protection from the weather and a welcoming appearance on South Potomac Street. It will be a focal point of the design, as will the marquee, a vertical sign historically correct, similar to those of historic theaters across the nation. An LCD screen is proposed for the facade facing the traffic coming through downtown. This screen is planned to show scrolling images of upcoming performances and events with titles and dates.
In closing, the Maryland Theater's expansion project will not only be the entryway to our crown jewel, the Maryland Theater, but it will be transformed into a performing arts complex for all artistic, educational, and cultural activities in our area while protecting the theater's historic and cultural significance for generations to come.